Good day, everyone, sir and classmates. Today, we're gonna present the types of meetings that are commonly used in parliamentary practice. In your screen, we now provided you with a session, an example of a session of the Philippine Congress.
Macdum, pinaninindigan niyo ba iyon na mayroon kayong pinatay na tao na pangalan Sally Macdum? Mr. Matubato, opo ma'am, kasi pinailan ako ng kaso ma'am ng kidnapping kang Sally Macdum. Hindi ko sila tinuro, parang inako ko rin. Pinailan ako sa NBI.
So what is that?
So after all the rants and accusations, I believe Senator De Lima deserves an apology, Mr. Chairman.
What apology are you talking about?
I
There
demand
is no need an
apology.
apology because you have the information. You have the
The
information from the
transcript
very
is part of the
beginning.
committee, Mr. Chairman.
From
But it was in the
2002.
transcript already.
2002. Will you please don't melt down, please? You're melting down.
No, sir. No, sir.
Because the charge was 2002, si Macdum pinatay. Ngayon lumabas 2000. We had to go chasing all these phantom ghosts. We have to
Sir.
ask people here. We're not
Sir.
wasting the time of the people here, you know. Pagod na rin tayo lahat eh.
Mr. Chair, one issue at a time. Hindi ho ba yung pag-aakusa niyo sa akin na merong material
Mr.
concealment
Chairman.
Alright.
has to do
Mr.
with the
Chairman, Mr.
filing of the case? Kaya po sinasabi ko po kanina, alamin muna natin kung nasabi ba yon o tinanong kay Mr. Matubato tungkol dyan sa pag-file. Kasi hindi rin po ako sigurado. In the meantime, before checking the TSN, you're accusing me or you have accused me
This committee
of
was made to believe.
material concealment. Walang concealment dahil nabanggit naman po ni Mr. Matubato. Kaya pala nandun yun sa notes ko. Kasi nabanggit naman. Nabanggit nung interview ko sa kanya, nabanggit pala during testimony. So where is the material concealment on the part of Senator De Lima? It pains me to be accused of
Well,
material concealment. There's no material concealment because
I am
it
not
was
going to go back
mentioned. It was mentioned. So there's nothing. There's nothing
There's nothing what?
to be, there's nothing to disclose to the body after the witness had disclosed it.
Mr. Chair, can I shed light on that, please?
Yes, go ahead.
So, Mr. Chair, the Senator Trillanes is correct in sense that Mr. Matubato said that finailan ng NBI. But hindi po yun yung concealment eh. Pinailan po sa piskalya. And ang piskal, eto po, and the fiscal po, nag-submit
Thank you. We will now proceed to the types of meetings with our group members, Alvarado, Dela Torre, and Espiritu.
The first meeting that I'll be discussing is the regular meeting. Regular meeting is a type of meeting normally held by a particular organization according to a standing rule which the deliberative assembly has adopted. For example, the regular session of the Congress begins on every fourth Monday of July and shall last for 30 days. So, based on the given definition, regular meeting is only held if the meeting is scheduled within the rules set by a certain organization. So, meaning a certain organization cannot hold a meeting that is outside of their existing rules. However, a certain organization can establish a special rule regarding in the holding of meetings, and that special meetings will be discussed later on. Next.
So for our next type of meeting, we have session meeting. Session meeting or a session is a series of connected meetings held by a group and devoted to a single order of business or program. Sessions, as you have seen from the video earlier, is a type of session wherein the Philippine Congress holds sessions within a excuse me, within a scheduled amount of time where they discuss agendas, single order of agendas, businesses or programs that are aligned with the interests of the government. And if the session ends without them finishing the agenda or the order of business, they may wish to continue this agenda in the next scheduled session. Sessions are most commonly seen or applied in governments, in the House of Representatives, or in a convention, which is also a type of meeting that will be discussed later, wherein representatives from different places are gathered in one place to discuss certain interests that concern all of them, and they may wish to do this regular session within a given schedule upon which they agree with. For the next, we have executive meeting. An executive meeting, if allowed by the charter or organizations, are close to the public and the press and generally are held for discussion of legal, personal, or other confidential matters. Executive meetings are very common in organizations, as executive meetings are made by the members of the said organization if they want to talk about certain agendas, certain information that are not to be heard or are quite sensitive for the ears of non-members and guests. For example, if a member or if an organization wishes or held a general meeting in a certain place and they invited special guests and non-members, an executive meeting may be raised with the motion to move to an executive meeting by a member and a vote of two-thirds of the voting population. Then the guests and the non-members will be asked to leave the meeting hall, and then the members will resume their business with the executive meeting. Next.
And now, we discuss special meeting. This type of meeting occurs when there are urgent matters which require attention and cannot wait for the next regular meeting. So, for instance, the given period of time to conduct the regular session of the Congress is not enough to discuss all the important matters. Um, the Congress can request for a special meeting to happen, like, for example, to discuss the national budget and so on. Next, adjourned meeting is a continuation of meeting, either regular or special, which has not completed the agenda or order of business. It is scheduled either as part of a session of several meetings or just provided for in the previous meeting by adjourning to a particular time, thus extending the session to include another meeting. And next, annual meeting is a type of meeting that occurs to elect officers and our executive board. It is to hear reports and approve auditors' report And lastly, it depends on the organization's rules on every when they will elect again for a new set of officers. So this kind of meeting is usual uh, practiced by some corporations. Next.
So for our next type of meeting, we have the occasional or mass meeting, wherein it is a kind of deliberative assembly where it is publicly done as to take action on particular issues and problems of the current situation or towards a particular purpose made by the meeting's sponsors. In an occasional or mass meeting, everyone can join. There's no specific limit on the number of attendees. Everyone may join, members and non-members, guests. But if the meeting's sponsors did invite certain guests and groups to join the meeting, non-members who are not invited may also join, but they cannot participate in the decision-making activities. Only those who were invited are allowed to partake in such activities. But if the meeting sponsors did not invite any specific person or guests or groups, then everyone who is in the meeting are welcome to take or to participate in the decision making actions. An example of occasional or mass meeting is when in a certain subdivision, the officers of the subdivision called for a general meeting for all the members or for all the homeowners of the said subdivision. Non-homeowners may wish to join the meeting, but they cannot vote or participate in any decision-making activities because they are not homeowners themselves. And officers specifically asked for the homeowners to join, but they did also welcome non-homeowners to attend the meeting as well. So next.
Next would be board meeting. It is a type of meeting that transcends not only into parliament, but it can also be done in business and associations. It is incorporated organizations are required by law to have members meeting. This often translates into an annual general meeting of the full membership and regular, more frequent meetings of the board of directors. Board members attend and vote at board meeting. The number of meetings in a board meeting can be held upon its bylaws. If it was decided to have it monthly, bi-monthly, or quarterly. And the purposes of the board meeting can be make decisions for the association, set policies, solve problems from the association, and plan and evaluate the things that they have did in the past so they can make it better for as the leaders of the association. Next would be the committee meeting. Committee meetings are the formal, minuted meetings of the volunteers who have been entrusted by local members to deliver learning and networking opportunities on their behalf, meaning they have the responsibilities of which are specialized or focused in certain and specific topics only. This type of meeting um, could be set an example on the student organizations in FEU such as IS Parliament and FEU Congress because they have certain committees on certain issues. For example, would be the Committee on Academic Affairs and Committee on Students' Rights and Welfare. And some laws state that committee meetings must meet at least monthly or quarterly And it can also be necessary to meet more often than the legal minimum. And these people in the committee meetings, they can be delegates that are from different groups that should vote within their group's interest in a specific committee. Next would be convention. In convention differ from regular meetings in that they are assemblies of delegates of chosen from the units of an organization which may be scattered over a large geographical area. The delegates are also sent as representatives in these units. An example would be the national youth conventions that are being done by organizations and associations that invite students from different schools nationwide, where they would be able to reform and add new plans in the organization's action to the community. Sometimes, convention is called for the purpose of forming a new association of persons to address a common problem or concern. Representatives of organizations meet as a whole in convention by sending delegates of the units to deliberate on the organization's common issues. And with its time limit, usually a convention is held once every year or two and lasts about a week. Although it could last longer if necessary, as in a constitutional convention where the constitution of the organization is being revised and brought to existence. And that would be all for our presentation on the different types of meetings in parliamentary practices. Thank you.